Alright, let's dive into it, folks. Today we're talking about UFC fighters who don't just fight, they walk into the octagon like they own the place. These are the guys with an aura, the ones that make you feel like you're watching something special every time they step into the cage. And trust me, this isn't just about skill, it's about presence, dominance, and that little extra something that makes your spine tingle when they're in the octagon. So let's kick things off with Alex Pereira. Now, we all know Alex didn't just have a good run in the middleweight division. Man, he even captured the middleweight belt at one point. Anyways, he took that same energy and marched it right into the light heavyweight division, like it was no big deal. I mean, this man didn't even flinch. Remember when he fought Jan Blachowicz? People thought Jan's grappling would give him trouble, which it kind of did, but Alex still won. Pereira showed up, kept his cool, and delivered. His power still devastating, his precision still devastating. The dude's basically a sniper. His knockout power at middleweight was legendary, but now with his extra weight, he's even more dangerous. It's like someone handed him a bigger weapon, and he's just casually walking around with it, waiting for the perfect shot. And to be honest, those last three performances, man, they give him this aura of like invincibility. It's like he's walking into the octagon with this unshakable energy that tells everyone, I'm coming to take over, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. Every fight he looks more dangerous than the last fight, and at this point you almost expect him to finish anyone who stands across from him. Pereira's presence in the division right now is pure dominance, and every time he steps in there you can feel the tension because you know someone's about to get wrecked. But let's be real, what adds to his aura isn't just his knockouts, it's that calm, almost too calm demeanor. He's not here to trash talk or make bold predictions, he's here to knock your head off. And he'll do it with that icy stare that makes you think twice about standing across from him. Pereira just doesn't win, he makes it look inevitable, and that's what makes his aura so undeniable. Now, the next person we got in the list is Shavkat Rakhmonov, the silent storm of the welterweight division. The dude is an absolute beast, and his fight with Jeff Neal and Wonderboy really highlighted that. Take the Jeff Neal fight for instance. Neal had Shavkat in trouble at one point, but instead of backing off, Shavkat bit down on the mouthpiece, pushed through, and eventually imposed his will. He didn't just try to survive, he came back stronger and finished Neal, reminding everyone why he's undefeated. Then you guys fight against Wonderboy. Now Wonderboy is no joke, especially on the feet. And let's not forget, Gilbert Burns couldn't even submit him when they fought. But Shavkat, he found a way. Even after getting clipped a few times, Shavkat stayed composed, waiting for his moment, and boom, he submitted Wonderboy. That's the thing about him. He's got this unshakable calmness even when he's in danger. And when he sees his opportunity, he doesn't miss. And here's the wild part. He makes it all look so effortless. For the most part at least. Shavkat doesn't need to rush or force anything. It's like he knows when the finish is coming, and he's just waiting for the perfect moment to pull the trigger. His aura is that calm, dangerous presence that basically says the fight's ending early, and you're really not gonna like how it happens. Fighters haven't been able to figure him out yet, and with every win, his mystique grows. Honestly, it's not a matter of time. If he becomes champion, it's win. He's a quiet storm, and once you're caught in it, you're not getting out. Now, the next person I want to put in this list is none other than Hamzat Chimaev. Early on, this man had the craziest aura ever. Remember when he was like bulldozing his opponents like Li Jiliang, GM3? Hell, I just remember him being extremely active and just running through people. He was tearing through opponents like a hot knife through butter. He had this unstoppable vibe that would make you think, is this guy even human? But, and here's the big but, that aura has dimmed a little bit. That inactivity has definitely taken the shine off. And his fight against Usman, yeah, that kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. It didn't feel like the same Hamzat who used to make opponents look like they didn't belong in the same cage with him. But even with that dip, Hamzat's still a beast. You cannot deny that every time he steps into the cage, there's a buzz. At any moment, he can unleash hell and finish this fight, and that's why he's still on this list. His aura might not be as big as it once was, but you just know he's just one fight away, reminding everyone why people fear him in the first place. Now let's shift gears to Ilia Topuria. Now if there was one word that really defines Ilia's aura, it's knockout. Every time he fights, you're on the edge of your seat because you know at any second this guy could land a bomb and it's lights out. His knockout of Jai Herbert, man, that was a thing of beauty. That kind of knockout that makes you rewind the clip and say, did that just happen? The dude hits hard and his opponent knows it. But it's not just about the power. Ilia's got this calm, calculated approach that makes his knockouts seem even more impressive. He doesn't go in swinging wild, he picks his shots, and when he lands, it's game over. His precision, timing, and ability to find that one perfect strike is what makes him so dangerous. But here's the thing, he's not as active as you would want him to be. For someone with that kind of talent and aura, you just want to see him fight more often, so he can remind everyone that he's a legit knockout artist waiting to happen every single time he steps into the octagon. Anyways, up next we have Merab Dvalishvili. Now, if we're going to talk about an aura of relentless, Merab is the king of that. His fights are cardio tested, disguised as MMA bouts. This guy does not stop, and nobody, and I mean nobody, has been able to match his pace. Take his fight against Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley as an example. He didn't just beat them, he broke them. Yan is a former champion, and he looked like he needed an oxygen tank by the end of that fight. O'Malley's known for his striking and was forced to play defensive the entire time because Merab's pressure is just that suffocating. Merab's aura isn't about power or flashy finishes, it's about knowing that if you're fighting him, you're in the most exhausting, frustrating 15 minutes of your life, or God forbid, 25 minutes. His cardio is endless, his wrestling is relentless, and so far, no one has been able to find a way to stop him. The only downside is that he's not as active as we'd like, but when he does fight, his opponents know they're in for a long, painful night. Up next, we have Islam Makhachev. And let me tell you something, Islam Makhachev aura in the UFC is straight up intimidating. He walks into the octagon like he knows he's going to win, and most of the time, he's right. His reputation as a grappler and wrestler specialist is unmatched, and just being from the same camp as Umar Nurmagomedov gives him that extra mystique. It's not just the way he wins, but how he dominates his opponents, knowing they're stepping into a world of trouble as soon as the cage door closes. It's like facing the final boss of a video game. You might think you have a chance, but deep down, you know he's gonna be tough to beat. But what people don't talk about enough is his counter-striking, which is seriously underrated. Everyone expects him to shoot for a takedown the second he steps forward, but Makhachev's countering game is slick. His timing is crazy. He waits for his opponents to commit, and then he punishes them with a clean, precise strike. It's this patient and the calm under pressure that makes his counters so dangerous. You come in thinking you're safe on your feet, and the next thing you know, you're getting tagged with a perfect time shot. Take his fight with Dustin Poirier for an example. While Poirier is known for his striking, Makhachev showed that he could hold his own and even outstrike him at times, thanks to those sharp counters. It's not just about his grappling anymore. He's became a true threat. The fact that he can flip the switch between striking and grappling makes him nearly impossible to predict. His opponents are consistently guessing whether they're about to get taken down or countered on the feet, which only adds to his already fearsome aura. When you combine Makhachev's elite grappling, dangerous counters, and his ice-cold composure in the octagon, you can get a fighter that's hard to figure out and even harder to beat. His aura of invincibility is only growing with each fight, especially after adding names like Charles Oliveira, Alex Volkanovski, and Dustin Poirier to his hit list. The question isn't just who is going to fight him next, it's how does anyone can even break through the wall of skills and confidence he brings to every fight. Now we move to Umar Nurmagomedov, the rising star with an aura that feels like a blend of the legendary Nurmagomedov family tradition and his own twist. He's got the same relentless grappling pressure that his cousin Khabib brought, but Umar's striking is on another level. His kicks lethal, scary. Every time when he steps into the cage, there's a feeling that no matter where the fight goes, Umar is in complete control. He's young, he's undefeated, and he fights with the confidence of someone who knows he's destined for greatness. His aura isn't just about being a grappler, he's a striker too, and that's what makes him a double threat. He doesn't just win, he dominates. And it feels like we're watching someone who's on the path to becoming a future champion. His opponents walk in knowing that they're fighting a Nurmagomedov, but they leave realizing that Umar's aura is something entirely of his own. And last but not least, we have Tom Aspinall, Tom Aspinall has a really unique vibe in the UFC heavyweight division. Unlike a lot of the heavyweights, he's fast, super agile, and fights with this smooth, almost effortless style. He's got this sharp boxing, solid footwork, and a sneaky, good ground game. And Tom Aspinall's recent wins over Curtis Blades and Sergey Pavlovich have really shown why he is the UFC champion. In the rematch against Blades, Aspinall looked sharp and in control, keeping Blades wrestling in check and outstriking him until he got the TKO. And it was a big moment for him, especially after the first fight ended with that injury, and he showed everyone he's back and he's stronger than ever. Then came the fight against Sergey Pavlovich, who knows for knocking guys out cold, but Aspinall's speed and his movement were on another level. He dodged the heavier punches and landed his own clean shots, and eventually getting the finish. It was the perfect way to prove that he's the real deal as champion, showing that he can handle both power punches and grappling with ease. Tom Aspinall just has this aura of invincibility around him that's hard to ignore. Every time he steps into the octagon, he moves with such confidence and skills, and that's what I love about him. And that's what he has, that aura of invincibility. So there you have it. These are the fighters walking around with that undeniable aura. They just don't fight, they make statements. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.